Most people are easy to manipulate, not because they are unintelligent, but because they are inconsistent. Their minds are reactive. Their emotions are untrained. Their attention is scattered. They chase novelty. They seek comfort. They wait for motivation. And when you live like that, when your mind is unstructured, undisciplined, and emotionally porous, you become vulnerable to distraction, to persuasion, to manipulation. But there is a path, an ancient path, a path that leads to a mind that cannot be moved, cannot be bent, cannot be broken. This path is not popular. It is not comfortable. It is not easy. But it is real. There is a reason the world can manipulate you. A reason your emotions can be hijacked. A reason your attention can be stolen. A reason your mind can be bent without you noticing. It is not because you are weak. It is because you are untrained. A mind without structure is a mind that can be controlled. A mind without discipline is a mind that can be influenced. A mind without identity is a mind that can be rewritten. But there exists an ancient path, quiet, severe, and rarely walked. That leads to a mind that cannot be manipulated. A mind that cannot be shaken. A mind that cannot be persuaded. A mind that cannot be owned. If you follow this path, you will become someone the world cannot move. Motivation is the first illusion. It is the most seductive, the most comforting, and the most destructive. It whispers promises. It promises clarity. It promises energy. It promises momentum. It promises that one day you will feel ready. But motivation is a flickering flame, bright for a moment, then gone without warning. It appears when life is easy, and vanishes the moment life becomes real. This is why people who depend on motivation never build anything lasting. They rise quickly and fall just as fast. They start with enthusiasm and end with excuses. They live in cycles of intensity and collapse. Motivation is emotional weather. It changes without your permission. A mind built on motivation is a mind built on instability. Harvard research shows that dopamine, the chemical of drive and reward, is released after action, not before. Meaning, the feeling you are waiting for only arrives once you begin. Not before. Never before. This is the truth Rin never understood. Rin waits for motivation. He waits for the spark. He waits for the perfect mood. He waits for the emotional permission to begin. But the disciplined person moves first. They do not wait for the flame. They strike the stone. They create the spark. Movement creates motivation. Action creates clarity. Discipline creates desire. When you act before you feel ready, something shifts inside you. You stop being a servant to your emotions. You stop being controlled by your impulses. You stop being manipulated by your own mind. Because a mind that depends on motivation can be manipulated. It can be pushed. It can be pulled. It can be distracting. It can be broken. But a mind that depends on action, a mind trained to move regardless of mood, cannot be manipulated. It becomes steady. It becomes grounded. It becomes immune to emotional turbulence. This is the first step on the ancient path. The death of the self that waits, and the birth of the self that moves. In ancient Japan, warriors and monks followed a principle known as Shugyō. It is often translated as austere training, but the translation is shallow. Shugyō is not training. Shugyō is purification. It is the burning away of illusion, the burning away of weakness, the burning away of every internal negotiation that makes the mind vulnerable. Shugyō is the construction of a mental fortress. A fortress built on two pillars. The 5 illusions that weaken the mind. The 5 commitments that make the mind unshakable. This is the ancient path to a mind that cannot be manipulated. To understand this path, consider someone familiar. Someone who wants clarity but never finds it. Let us call him Rin. Rin is not unintelligent. He is not lazy. He is simply untrained. Every day, Rin consumes information. He scrolls. He reacts. He absorbs. But his mind is scattered. His emotions are easily triggered. His attention is easily stolen. He is manipulated, not by others but by his own impulses. Rin is not defeated by complexity. He is defeated by inconsistency. He wants to be unshakable, but he lives like someone who can be moved by anything. And if you are honest, you will see parts of yourself in him. Motivation is the first illusion. It promises clarity. It promises energy. It promises momentum. But motivation is a flickering flame. It appears when life is easy and vanishes when life becomes real. Harvard research shows that dopamine is released after action, not before. Meaning, the feeling you are waiting for only arrives once you begin. Rin waits for motivation. The disciplined person moves first. Movement creates motivation. Action creates clarity. Discipline creates desire. A mind that depends on motivation can be manipulated. A mind that depends on action cannot. Choice feels empowering, but choice is a battlefield. Every option is a distraction. Every decision is a drain. Every hesitation is a weakness. Samurai eliminated choice. Their rituals were predetermined. Their movements were rehearsed. Their responses were automatic. Ren chooses. The debates. He hesitates. The disciplined person obeys the structure. When choice disappears, clarity appears. When choice disappears, momentum begins. When choice disappears, manipulation ends. A mind without choice is a mind without weakness. Variety feels exciting, but variety fractures the mind. Zen monks repeat the same chants, the same movements, the same practices for decades. Not because they lack creativity, but because repetition sharpens the blade. Rin seeks novelty. He believes change equals growth. But the disciplined person seeks depth. Depth comes from repetition. Repetition creates mastery. Mastery creates identity. The river does not carve stone by changing direction. It carves stone by flowing in the same direction every day. A mind addicted to variety can be manipulated. A mind anchored in repetition cannot. Perfection is paralysis. It convinces you that anything less than flawless is failure. But mastery is not built on perfect days. It is built on continuous days. Rin waits for the perfect moment, the perfect mood, the perfect plan. But the disciplined person understands. Perfection is irrelevant. Continuity is everything. Momentum is everything. Identity is everything. A mind chasing perfection can be manipulated. A mind committed to continuity cannot. Willpower is unreliable. It fluctuates with sleep, stress, emotion, and environment. MIT studies show that willpower is a limited resource, exhausted by decisions and conflict. Rin relies on willpower. He hopes he will feel strong enough today. The disciplined person relies on systems. Systems do not fluctuate. Systems do not get tired. Systems do not negotiate. Willpower is a candle. Systems are the sun. A mind that depends on willpower can be manipulated. A mind that depends on systems cannot. In ancient dojos, students declared their intent publicly, not for applause, but for accountability. When you speak your commitment aloud, you bind your identity to it. You create a psychological contract. You create a witness. A private promise is fragile. A public declaration is unbreakable. A mind that hides its commitments can be manipulated. A mind that declares them cannot. A practice without a fixed time is a practice that never happens. Time is the anchor. Time is the commander. Time is the structure that eliminates negotiation. Choose one time. The same time. Every day. Time becomes the commander. You become a soldier. A mind that negotiates with time can be manipulated. A mind that obeys time cannot. Do not ask, "What should I do today?" That question destroys discipline. Choose one action. The same action. Every day. A single movement repeated without fail becomes a ritual. A ritual becomes identity. Identity becomes destiny. A mind that improvises can be manipulated. A mind with ritual cannot. Continuity is more powerful than intensity. A single missed day breaks the choreography. It interrupts the river. It resets the machine. Even if the practice is small, it must be unbroken. Gaps kill identity. Continuity creates transformation. A mind with gaps can be manipulated. A mind with continuity cannot. When obstacles appear, you do not think. You do not negotiate. You execute the response you decided long before the moment arrived. If you are tired, you perform the minimum version. If you are busy, you perform the shortened version. If you are overwhelmed, you perform the simplest version. There is always a version. There is never an excuse. A mind that negotiates can be manipulated. A mind that executes cannot. When you eliminate motivation, choice, variety, perfection, and willpower, the old identity collapses. When you adopt public declaration, fixed time, fixed action, practice without gaps and pre-decided responses, a new identity forms. Rin dies. The disciplined self is born. This is not a habit change. This is psychological rebirth. You are no longer the person who can be manipulated. You are no longer the person who reacts. You are no longer the person who hesitates. You are stepping into a different category. A category defined by structure, precision, and self-command. If you are serious, truly serious, declare it publicly. Subscribe. Comment on your commitment. Make your declaration visible. Bind your identity to it. Because once you begin this path, you cannot return to who you were. The transformation cannot be undone.